Welcome to Kevin's European Garage, and today I'm going to be talking about something other than the 911 or my Cayenne. We're going to be talking about jack stands and the importance of using a good, proper jack stand. Recently, Harbor Freight did a recall, and it started getting me thinking about the jack stands that I'm using, whether or not the ones I'm using are good or bad, or should I be upgrading to something different. So I decided after thinking about it that I was going to upgrade to something different, and I'm going to be using these Esco ones over here. They're rated for 6,000 pounds. These things are pretty strong, beefy, and they got a nice pad on the ground as opposed to these, which is pretty much what everyone uses. You can see they don't really have much of a good surface area on there. And the other thing you've got to worry about with these, and the big problem that they're having is these teeth. They're worn. And that's what's causing the sudden plunge. So I'm still not going to get rid of these completely. I'm going to end up using these for probably, if I'm if I need to put the car up on all fours, I can put this on the opposite side of where I'm working. So I'm not really worried about it falling. And normally when I do jack it up anyways, I always still leave the jack underneath the car just to make sure that I don't have any issues. I don't want anything falling on me. I'd like to live, I'm not ready to die yet. So, because when I was a kid, my brother used those old school jack stands. I don't even have a set anymore to show you, but they were just out of stamped steel, and these little tabs on the side over here on these, they were just tack welded, and the thing spread and the jack stand came down on them. And I was just a little kid, and I actually had to jack up the car. It was actually a van. I had to jack up the van off of my brother. So, with that happening to one of my family members in light of Harbor Freight's recall on theirs, I decided that maybe it's time to, I gotta really start thinking about it. So, like I said, I'm gonna go with these. And what I really like about this is that you got a nice strong base like this. So if you're in your driveway and you're putting this on pavement, these will absolutely dig into the ground. I mean, it's happened to me. They'll dig into the pavement and they'll mark it. But this over here, you're gonna have less likely of that actually happening because it's got a larger surface area. The construction of this is actually really nice. It is nice, hard steel, welded together. I mean, it's in a pretty good. It's a pretty good design. And another thing I like about it, especially when you're working on the Porsches, is that we don't jack up the cars on the frame rails, and this is meant mainly for a car that you put this thing up on a rail. Most European cars, they just have a jack pad on there, so having something that's flat like this makes it a lot easier. And yes, I know that have a lot of height adjustments. It is easier to operate than this over here, but I will give up a little bit of ease of operation to know that for the most part I'm going to be alive. As you can see, they have a couple holes over here, so it's not actually that bad. You can kind of move it up a little bit. Like I said, it just takes a little bit more effort. You get your pin to hold it in place. And with something like this, I just feel it's more solid. I mean, you got more surface area. The whole jack stand is actually what's holding your weight. On this, what's really holding your weight, is just this. I mean, this is what's really holding your weight. So, I don't know. I mean, people have been using these for years, without too many problems up until recently, but I don't know. I just don't feel like taking a chance anymore. So I'm gonna go with these, and you'll be seeing me use these from now on. And I actually do like it, and I do like the fact that it's got like a regular pad, because every time I use this, I'd always have to put a piece of wood over here too. So not only that, I got a wood over here, push it over here. In the middle, there's not really any pressure on it, so sometimes the wood would crack when I'm underneath there. And like I said, I've always used a couple jacks on either side to kind of make sure that this thing won't fall on me, because I don't want that to happen. No one wants this thing to fall on them. So I guess that's my public service announcement. And hopefully maybe this will get you thinking about what you're using. We should all try to be safe when we're working on our cars. So just think about your using. I'm not saying that these things are necessarily bad, but you know, I decided that I don't want to use them anymore because of this and because of that recall. It just got me thinking. That's why I'm upgrading to these. These you can buy for like, you know, like 30 bucks or 40 bucks a pair. These are 100 bucks a pair. So, I mean, it is more than double the price, almost triple the price. Like I said, I think these things are a little bit better. You know, I like the fact that it's a rubber pad on here. I like the fact that it's not shaped, you know, in a V. You can get these with a V if you wanted to do so. That's not a problem. But, I do like the fact that it's a pad, so it makes it easier for our cars, which, you know, don't use the V. We don't need to go on the frame rail. So thanks for watching Kevin's European Garage. Thanks for listening to my my little spiel here about why I want to use these over this. But this is going to be my primary jack stand. Like I said, I just feel, personally, I feel more safe with this. That's my opinion. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and check back often.